Fourth grade into math lesson 18.3. Generate and identify shape patterns. I can describe and extend shape patterns. Step it out. Number 1. Hachi is studying the geometric shape patterns on this vase. What might be the next 3 figures in the pattern? Identify the geometric shapes that you see in the design. So what shapes do we see, guys? A triangle. What else? A circle. And one more, a square. So describe a shape pattern. Okay. So what do you notice with this? To me, the yellow triangle really sticks out, right? Okay. So at first, the triangle is pointing upward, right? Then it looks like it's turned some and it's pointing to the right. Then it gets turned a little bit more and it's pointing down. Gets turned a little bit more and it's pointing to the left. Gets turned a little bit more and it gets pointed upward again. So which way do you think that's turning? Right, which is also known as clockwise. How many degrees? 90. Okay, because if you do a full circle, how many degrees is that? 360. And this got turned how many times? 4 times. So what is 360 divided by 4? 90. 90. Okay, so 90 degrees clockwise. Now, what if the triangle would have been pointing to the left first off instead of the right? It would have been the same. It would have been counterclockwise. Okay, but since it was going to the right, we say 90 degrees clockwise. Now they want us to draw the next 3 figures in our pattern. So we kind of started already back at the top where it started the first time, correct? Okay, now we need to have these be the same size. So I'm going to draw a square 6 by 6. And then the triangle is about how much of that? Half of it, a third of it? What do you think? Half of it, right? So I'm going to go to the middle of my square. And I'm going to draw a triangle. And then underneath that, I'm going to draw a what? A circle. You just try your best. Okay. Then if I do the next, but did I put my triangle in the right spot? No, because they technically already had that for me, right? So, whoops. So I need to change that. Where does my triangle really need to be? Over here, correct? Whoops. And then the circle comes back on the left side, correct? Okay. Then I'm going to draw my 6-foot square again. Or not 6 square, but 6 unit square. Where does the triangle need to be pointing this time? Down. To the bottom. So I'm going to go halfway between. And then have my triangle meet at the middle. And draw my circle at the top. Okay. So then I draw my 6 by 6 square again. Which way does the triangle need to go this time? To the left. So I'm going to go halfway down the middle, come to a point in the middle on the left side, and then draw my circle on the right hand side. Okay, is that the next 3 patterns? Because then if I did it again, I would draw a 6 unit square, correct? Yeah. Okay, and then I would draw the arrow point or the triangle pointing up and then the circle on the bottom, correct? Okay, now could we have done an 8 unit square? Yeah. Could I have done a 10 unit square? Yes. Okay, but what basically had to be the same? However many units I used in each, correct? Okay. All right. Step it out, number 2. Hachi makes the design, but she spills ink on her work. The ink covers 3 figures in the pattern. How can you predict the figures hidden by the ink? Okay, so what are some of our geometric patterns that we see? What do you guys see? So a red rectangle. A red triangle. Okay, and then what's the blue? Like maybe a blue or a turquoise cross, right? Okay, so what do you guys notice about the red triangle and the red rectangle?
They go up and down.
Okay, so it either goes the triangle on top or the triangle on the bottom, right? Or vice versa for the rectangle. Okay, so what do you think would be maybe missing right here?
The triangle on the bottom.
Okay, the triangle on the bottom. So if I did, say, 3 units for that, would that work?
Yeah.
Okay, and then the rectangle is just as wide, right? So that would be 4 units. And then maybe by 2. What do you guys think? Does that look okay? What do you think would come after that? What would come next?
The turquoise.
The turquoise cross, right? So, but it has to be as tall as that square and triangle, right? So can I maybe come down 2 units, over 2 units, down 2 units, over 2? Oh, is that gonna work though?
No, you have to do.
No. Okay. But is the top quite as tall? No. So could I just come down 1 unit and then down down another? Oh my goodness, it's not changing. Okay. Down 1 unit and then over 2, up 1, over 2, or yeah, over, oh, not over 2 guys, over just 1, sorry. This one's a little more tricky, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so just down 1, over 1, down 2, over 1, over 2, up 1, over 1, up 2, over 1, up 1, and over. Does that look a little better? Okay, so why are they giving us grid paper? Is that helping us get things a little bit more concise and looking the same? Okay, and then now I have to do my triangle, but I have to do what? Have it upside down or on the top, or where does it go?
Upside down on top.
On the top, right? Upside down. So I'm going to go over 4, and then I'm going to come down 3 spots and bring it together. And then my rectangle goes over how many cubes? 5, right? And then draw my rectangle. Number 3, Lamont makes a pattern from the rule, increase the number of circles in each row by 1. Use the rule to draw the next 3 figures in the pattern. So are we only going to draw 1 more circle in the next one, or 1 more in each row? In each row. So how many total are we going to add? 2, right? So I'm going to draw my 2 circles that I originally had and then draw 1 more in each row. So how many am I going to have in the next pattern?
6.
6, right? So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. How many am I going to have in the fourth pattern? 8. So 4 in each row. Okay. Use the figures to write a number pattern and then describe the pattern in the numbers. Okay, so use the figures to write a pattern, number pattern. Okay, then we say what the number patterns are. So we did what? We started with what? 2, and then we did what? So start with 2, and then we did what in each one? We added what to each one? Okay, then add 2. So does that give us a rule? Is that our rule for what our pattern did? Yes. Okay. What would have been our rule for the pattern on the front?
Just
rotate clockwise 90 degrees, right? Check understanding number 1. Amelia used pattern blocks to make the following pattern. What might the next pattern be? So what do you guys notice? What shapes do we have here? We have a what? A parallelogram, right? And a trapezoid. So then we have 2 parallelograms and then a trapezoid. Then we have what? 3 parallelograms and then a trapezoid. So what do you think the next pattern is going to be? 4 parallelograms. And then try to make them congruent as you can be. Okay. And then a what, guys? A trapezoid, right? And then technically you could take colored pencils and color them in, because then does that help us distinguish them a little bit better? Yes. Okay. Since I don't have that though, can I put B inside my shape, B inside this shape for what? Blue? And then the letter R inside this shape for red, right? Okay. All right, on your own, number 2, attention precision. Charles designs this pattern for his family's quilting project. Okay, so what do you notice? We have a what? A yellow triangle, a blue triangle, and then a green triangle. Okay, and then does that pattern keep repeating over and over again? Does anything change with it? No, or a blue square, right? Not a triangle, sorry. Okay, so describe a possible pattern in his design used for precise geometric terms. So did we just say that? So what? Yellow triangle doing what? Pointing to the left. Okay. Then a what?
Green triangle.
What's in the middle?
Blue square.
Blue square. And then a what?
And then a blue triangle. Basically.
A blue one or a green triangle? Pointing right. Number 3, use the rule increase the number of sides by 1 to name the next 3 figures in the pattern. Then use the figures to write the number pattern and describe the pattern in the numbers. So you could do anything. We could do a triangle, and then we could do a square, right? And then we could do a square, and we could do actually, let's do different shapes. What can we do next? Can we do a circle? Okay. And then can we maybe do a rectangle?
Yes.
Okay. And then what would we say would be our pattern then? Triangle, square, circle, rectangle. Okay. And then would that just keep repeating? Okay. Now we could have done 2 triangles and then a circle and then a square. And then what would have probably happened again? 2 triangles, a circle, and a square, right? Okay, just whatever would get us repeating. We are going to do this page with partners, and then you will do your homework on your own.